This is the part where I talk, right? Yeah, I almost forgot what I'm doing here. Who am I? What is my motivation? Well, my motivation is to be here with you guys talking about all the strange and unusual crap in the world because there's a bucket of it. Hello to Unknown. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Good to see all you guys. Of course, I've missed you. It's tough for me to miss shows. Hi, Laura Tharp. Good to see you over on Twitch. That's nice to see someone visiting us on Twitch. We don't get a lot of action on Twitch, so when it happens, it's like, ooh, really, Twitch? Wow, that's cool. It's nice to see you. Thanks for stopping in, and hope you love it and spread the word over on Twitch, because I've been broadcasting over on Twitch for, God, the better part of a year now. And almost nothing's going on over there. I keep trying, though, because I think it's great. Just spread the net as wide as we can, and hopefully we'll find people that are into the world of the strange and unusual, and they'll be like, yeah, I kind of like this show, maybe. Maybe you'll hate the show, but at least you gave me a shot, and that's all I can ask. So that's okay, too. So hello to everybody over on Facebook and on X, Twitter. Good to see you guys, as well as Rumble. Got Barbara Mora and Justin Goodearth over there. And I'm sure more will be coming in shortly. And, of course, the YouTube. And the YouTube's a busy place. There's been a lot going on there. So let's see who's hanging out with us from YouTube. I'm going to pop out the participants here. Annie Manula is over there. Bogart is there. Chucky Danger is over there. Chucky, I meant to call you last night. I'm sorry. I'll try to get to it after the show tonight, but hang in there, buddy. Sorry. Dale Atkinson's over there. David Barnes is there. How you guys doing? Deborah Neighbors, Elaine Clifford, hello friend, Hoop Oracle, John Stevenson. How did I get Jacob Stevenson? I don't know. Sorry, John. Maybe you got a brother. Hello to your brother, just in case I was right. John Temperate is here, so the Johns are represented. Good to have you guys here. Kelly Sandiford, Kitty Cattywhack is here. Maggie M10, Marie Garman is here. Someone popped in. You guys are screwing with me now. Michelle Wolfong is here. Mickey G is here. How you guys doing? Great to see you. R. Stillbone is here. Good to see you. It's Shadow Drakes. Rachel gets it right, and the unknown, and somebody else popped in up here. I don't know who popped in. The names moved, and I don't know who's moving them. Deborah Neighbors, I don't know if I said that hello before, but hello to you. Bogart is here, in case I didn't say that. I don't know. I'm just looking for any names I didn't see. That's who's here now. Moral becoming, and when you come in the door, if you don't come in right at the beginning, just say hello to me in the chat. I'll try to see it and say hello to you. I really appreciate all you guys being here. Hello, good evening. How are you? I'm good, Laura Tharp. Thank you for popping in again over on the Twitch. It's nice to see a purple icon next to a chat. That is cool. Hello, friend popped in. Good to see you. Hello to you. And sorry, guys, about Wednesday. So a little explaining from essentially Sunday, I flew to Minnesota, and then Monday, went down and saw Portal Mom, spent the night with her at her house, and then Tuesday and Wednesday was a marathon drive home, and I was just wiped out. I had nothing left, and so I wasn't going to try to drag my tail through a whole show, so I apologize for that. I did warn you a little bit in advance. I'm like, look, I don't know if I'll do a show Wednesday or not. Just stay tuned. And so I tried to put it out there to everybody that might be interested. Look, I'm not going to be able to do a show. I was literally running on fumes, and so I apologize for that. I don't like to miss the shows, but I just didn't have more to give you. So it was a whiplash trip, and it's kind of good that I did it because I'm going to be doing a few more of those, because coming up in beginning of September, I'll be appearing at Vernal, Utah, with Sheldon Thomas is going to be joining me as well. It's the plan anyway. And we're going to be hanging out in Phenomecon, the festival, the conference that's going on down there. An exceptional conference. You guys get a chance, you should check it out. If you're in the neighborhood, stop in. I'll have a booth there, and love to say hello and hang out with all you guys that managed to make the journey. That'll be in Vernal, Utah, right at the beginning of September. And let me pull up the dates on that. I got to pull up the dates. Go to phenomecon.net for more information, but it's September 3rd through the 6th. It's a 3-day event in Vernal, Utah. It's pretty incredible. They do a hell of a job. I'm going to put it up on screen here so you guys can see what that conference is going to look like. It's literally one of the biggest paranormal conferences on the West Coast, if not the biggest now. I mean, it's got to be right up there with anybody's attempts. And they do an incredible job. They really do an amazing job. So here's Phenomecon, folks. That'll be happening in Vernal, Utah, September 3rd through the 6th. And there's a lot going on. There's some amazing people going to be appearing there. That's Georgie Tsoukalos. That's right. I couldn't remember his last name for a second. George Knapp. George Norrie's going to be there. George Norrie's an excellent guy. I've gotten the pleasure of knowing him a little bit through the last couple of years, and a wonderful guy. And Jessica Chobot is going to be there. Jack Osborne is going to be there, which is really cool because, of course, they just went through an incredible life event, and my heart goes out to the whole family. But I'm glad that Jack's going to be there. It'll be neat to be able to meet him. And all of these folks will be there doing presentations and stuff, including Tony and Cherie Rathman, who we've interviewed here on the show. Wonderful people. They are the Staticom Project. They'll be appearing there. I'm really excited that they got in there to do that. Ryan Skinner's going to be there. The whole cast of Skinwalker Ranch. Thomas Winterton is a really phenomenal guy, too. I've really enjoyed getting to know him. Maria Mayer will be there from Expedition Bigfoot. And it's, David Paulides, Jeff Meldrum. There's just an incredible Dave Schrader is going to be there. Greg Lawson, an excellent guy. So lots of great stuff going on. Cliff Barrickman, excellent lineup all around. So if you can make it to Phenomecon, make it. It is truly an exceptional event, and just wonderful people there. So I've been really thrilled to be a part of Phenomecon for the last several years. And why not one more, at least? Maybe more than one more, but at least for now, one more. So then I'll be heading to, at the end of September, let's see. I'm just doing this. I'm sorry, I should have been more prepared. LOOMS conference. 2025. Crossing Realms, here it is. I'm going to put this up and put it on screen too, because this one is one that I'm really excited to take part in too. And this will be happening, what's the dates again? September 18th is a pre-conference party. September 19th is the meet and greet. And then the conference kickoff happens September 20th. Celebrity Ghost Hunt at the Ray County Museum is 8 p.m. to 2 a.m. That is sold out. That's a pre-buy VIP ticket only thing. But that'll be fun. I'll be taking part in all of this stuff, or as much as they'll let me do. I'm going to be taking part of it as much of it as we can. But this is the Crossing Realms Conference. If you're familiar with Texas show, Rob's show, the Blondes and the Booze, Monica Rowland's show, or Paul. There's just so many great people that are involved in this conference. I'm going to be there. So that'll be happening at the Eagleton Civic Center, 1015 West Royal Street in Richmond, Missouri. And again, starting off on the 18th through the 21st or something like that. I don't know. Here's the different ticketed events that you can go to. So yeah, I mean, it should be a blast, and I'd love to meet you guys. So that's my Midwest appearance. And then, as if that weren't enough, but wait, there's more. In October, I'm going to be here, hanging out with Massachusetts with the Hometown Ghost Stories boys, and we'll be hanging out with them, doing a live event. And it's a great opportunity to come hang out with us. And if you're on the East Coast, this is my first venture to the East Coast. I'm a little nervous. I don't do a lot of live presentations. I've done a few, but I hope I'll do okay. And love to see you guys over there. You can go to Eventbrite and get tickets in advance, or I'm sure if you show up at the door, they'll have some available as well. So this will be October 24th, Barrel House Z in Weymouth, Massachusetts. So lots of events coming up. I would love for you guys to be here. Oh, thank you, Elaine. Elaine just became a member. She's now a member for 37 months, guys. Wow. Thank you, Elaine, for all that love packed into one festival of fun. So excellent. Ms. Deb Varner popped in. Oh, the lovely Deb Varner. Missed you. It's good to see you pop up. I know you pop up on Facebook quite a bit, and I appreciate that. But it's nice to have you back here in the audience with us. Oh, there's Paranormal Paul. Yeah, I'm a busy dude. Yeah, good to see you, Paul. Thanks for stopping in. And yeah, if there's any information I'm missing, Paul, about the conference, please put it in the chat. Let people know. I'd appreciate it. I'm gonna try to get a little more organized to promote these things as we're leading up to it. We're basically in the 11th hour here on a lot of these conferences. So if you can make it, that'd be great. Hi, Amanda's Crazy Life channel. Good to see you. Jose Sanchez came in. Good to see you, Jose. Appreciate you coming in. And all of you guys. There's Sinfully Wicked's here. Back to sleep. Oh, you're going to bed? Okay, Sinfully Wicked. Get some rest. Thanks for stopping in and saying hello. That's awesome. The Batman's in here. Mickey G's here. I'm just telling you, it's a party. It's a regular party here in the portal. So we got a lot to get to tonight. I'm waiting on Sheldon. I don't know when he'll be popping in. I don't know for sure if he'll be popping in, honestly, because I didn't talk to him about it. Oh, that's sweet. I took the minion to a birthday party just before coming home and going live. So it was kind of a whiplash journey today even, but it was a lot of fun. Wonderful people over there. So I don't do a lot of social stuff. So it's weird when I get out and be and attempt to be social, but they were such nice people. So we had a lot of fun, and the minion had a lot of fun. So one of his classmates' birthdays. So anyway, not that you needed to know, but you know, now you know. So for whatever that's worth. All right, so we're going to get to the news here shortly. It's coming up in just a couple of seconds, minutes. I don't know. We'll see what happens. And then 75 Whataburger hamburger tonight. I don't even know what a 75 cents Whataburger hamburger is, but I hope it's good for you, Linda. I don't know. Some of the most random stuff pops up in the chat, and it catches my eye like, what does that mean? I don't get it. All right. Hey, Bogart, good to see you. So let's get to the news and make this official and get some entertainment happening other than listen to me slap my lips together making noise, because that's got to get old for anybody. I'm just saying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. Let's see what's going on. Carl says it's a dance party. It's always a dance party up here in the portal. I'm just saying. Not that I know how to dance, and you wouldn't want to see it. It looks probably more like a seizure than dancing, but got to let the rhythm move you how it will. There's a lot of real estate to move here, so I can't be held responsible. All right, let's see what's going on. Benno from Oz popped in. Good to see you. All of you guys, thanks for coming in. Linda's here. Did I say hi to Linda? JoJo's here. Do you know Charles Perrell? I don't believe I do. Don't believe I know that name, JoJo. If you're talking to me, unless you're talking to each other, and I'm just jumping in the middle of it. But anyway, all right, welcome to the news. Obviously, we're going to be covering some news stories here that I've pulled up for your entertainment, for your information. Not all of it's paranormal. Some of it is. Some of it's just bizarre, weird, interesting, informative, or just fun. I don't know. I don't obviously get real serious here on the news. Generally speaking, excuse me. Sorry, it was kind of a burp hiccup combination at the same time. It's like my body didn't know what the hell to do with that. So anyway, we're going to get to the articles that I've pulled up for you, but please keep in mind, folks, that we go through a lot of different sites here on the show. I use a lot of different resources, and these sites are incredible. They're incredibly well done, and I implore you, I'm pleading with you guys, please support these sites. Please visit them. Go check out what they have to offer, because every one of these websites is incredible. They are doing amazing jobs, and they need your love. They need your support. Your traffic equals revenue and helps to keep the lights on. So please visit these sites. When you're in between portals and you're like, what's going on in the world? Go check out Unexplained-Mysteries. That's the first site we're going to be visiting. If you're looking for an informative article about pretty much anything you're interested, go to Thought Catalog. Go to SasquatchChronicles.com, and when Lon gets it all back up and running, head over to Phantoms and Monsters. That is an incredible site. All of these sites are amazing. So please support them all. Whatever, I will always name the sources where this stuff is coming from, because it is my hope to expand awareness for what they're doing too. These sites are incredible. So gotta support our community of weird and wonderful news and information. So, all right, the first article we're going to get to, I thought was kind of interesting. I've often wondered about this as well. So take, for instance, any human ancestor or hominid kind of migration historically. How did they do it? Was it during the supercontinent period, where there was believed to be one giant Pangea landmass, and these all of us were just kind of distributed on this big landmass, and then it eventually kind of broke up through cataclysmic events or whatever, and maybe they went for the ride. Maybe we went for the rides and ended up wherever our ancestors ended up. But some people have also talked about weird things like the Siberian migration of a lot of different peoples through the ages and aeons, covering different parts of the globe that they weren't traditionally from. And maybe there's merit to that. I don't know. But let's see what this article says, because according to unexplained-mysteries.com, how did early hominins reach the island of Sulawesi without boats? I think that's in Indonesia, isn't it? I think so. I think there's going to be a long one, and I won't read the whole thing, but I'm kind of curious. How did they reach these islands without boats? The discovery of a 1 million-year-old stone tools on the island has raised some rather striking questions. That's interesting as well. And so oftentimes throughout the course of this show, we've covered things called OOP arts. OOP arts stands for out-of-place artifacts. And these are a weird anomaly and enigma that's happened where people are finding, and it's prone for some scam and hoax stuff too. So you gotta take some of it with a grain of salt. Maybe some is more substantiated scientifically than others. You can't take every claim at its face value. But there's things like the London hammer, which is this old hammer that was found embedded in about 300 million year old rock. And it's an iron hammerhead with a wood handle. And some studies have suggested that the artifact is so old that the wooden handle is both petrified in some spots and has turned to coal in other spots. And so it's been going through a process of carbonization, which takes millions of years to my knowledge. So how did a iron hammerhead get embedded in an old rock? And the story goes is that the reason they call it the London hammer is it was discovered in London, Texas by a couple just out for a walk. They saw this weird stone that had a piece of wood protruding from it. And they're like, wow, what's this? So they took it home and split it open. And inside, encased in this old rock, I think it was limestone, but I might be wrong. Maybe it wasn't limestone. I forget what kind of rock it was. But the age estimates by geologists is for this kind of rock is usually about 300 million years old. How did an iron hammerhead make it, and with a wooden handle, manage to get embedded in 300 million year old stone? There's other things that have been found through the ages as well. There's claims of a spark plug. There's claims of finding machined aluminum sitting alongside mastodon bones in digs, archaeological digs, or paleontological digs. Sorry, got my sciences mixed up. So these are anomalies. So is this another one of these anomalies, or is there something else? And what these anomalies to me suggest is that there's a history that we just don't know about. That sometime before history, before our knowledge of history happened, there may have been civilizations that existed here on the earth. And I realize that sounds bizarre, but when you're finding these artifacts and these anomalies, if you will, how do you explain it? Well, there's some people believe that there's basically this has been a long ongoing cycle of developing cultures and eventual cataclysmic events, which then have to redevelop their culture, and then cataclysmic event. So it's like this state of advancement and expansion, and then a cataclysmic collapse, and whoever's left has to start from scratch, basically from living in rocks and stuff. So it's an interesting thought. I don't know, what you guys think about that stuff, but I think it's fascinating personally. And I don't pretend that all of the UPART claims are legitimate necessarily, but if only one of them is legitimate, if only one of all the claims made about these ancient artifacts being embedded in millions of year old strata, then something phenomenal has happened. Something unexplainable has happened, at least with our current knowledge base, and that's huge. I think it's more than just one. So what the hell happened here? We don't know. Well, let's see what this article says. And this is by Adam Basran Buran et al. It sounds like an Indonesian name, so let's see. Stone tools dating back to at least 1.04 million years ago have been found on the Indonesian island of Sulawesi. And this means early hominins made a major sea crossing from the Asian mainland much earlier than previously thought. And they likely didn't have any boats. This discovery, made by a team of Indonesian archaeologists working in collaboration with Australian researchers, is published today in Nature. It adds to our understanding how extinct humans once moved across the Wallace Line, an imaginary boundary that runs through the Lombok Strait in the Indonesian archipelago. Sorry. My tongue just phoned that in. Did you see that? Oh, that was not pretty. Archipelago. Beyond this line, unique and often peculiar animal species, including hominins, evolved in isolation. So it's a fascinating idea, and it's kind of neat that they found millions of year old tools. Is it possible that some of these hominins were much more advanced than we've given them credit for? Essentially, we equate them to just this side of chimpanzee. And maybe that's not been the case at all. I mean, they were tool using, so they were obviously more advanced than chimps in a degree that it looks like they fashion tools. Now, chimps are known to use tools. They'll pick up a stick and stick it into termite hills and make the termites bite onto it, pull out the stick, and suck off all the termites. I mean, they utilize tools, and it's part of their problem solving. But I don't know that they're really fashioning tools per se. And it sounds like these are fashioned or machined kind of tools and machined in a very archaic form, of course. I'm not thinking that they had a factories or whatever, but you know what I'm saying. So it is interesting. What I'll do is, since this is a really long article and it goes beyond the purview of my little show to read an hour-long article, or at least the speed I read it, I'll put a link in the chats. You guys can check it out at your leisure. It should appear in your chat wherever you are watching. If it doesn't, then head over to YouTube or to Rumble and check out those chats, because that's where it's going to be the most visible. I can't, unfortunately, tie all the chats into this one big chat window that I have in front of me. I'll try. I keep trying, and if they develop more of it, I will bring it into our stream. However, it's pretty fascinating. It looks like it went to Twitch and YouTube on one side, and then I just put it up in the Rumble chat as well. So Twitch will give you that link as well. It's a pretty comprehensive article. This is more than I have the time to read, but it's fascinating. So could that explain some of these oopards? Maybe they were more advanced than we've given them credit for. We just, again, we often attribute these ancient ancestors or cousins of ours in our big biological family tree as being very animalistic and ape-like in traditional terms, like gorillas and orangutans and chimps and stuff. But it sounds like several of them were much more cultured and developed than we give them credit for. And it's believed possibly that some of those cultures became part of our cultures. In other words, maybe our early ancestors were mingling with them, perhaps interbreeding with them, and there's enough genetic similarity that it worked. So I don't know. Interesting stuff. It's a lot to think about, but fascinating article, and I hope you guys check it out. Let's go to the next one, because there's more. Wait, there's more. I don't know if you guys heard about this. I don't know if I think probably most of you are familiar with the guy. Anybody heard of Matt Rife out there? Matt Rife, he's a comedian, does a lot of stand-up, really neat guy. Sounds like a really phenomenal guy. And his comedy is really incredible. I've loved watching his videos and stuff. But Matt Rife, you may or may not know, is also very involved in the paranormal. He's got his own video series of investigations they've done with he and his group of friends or investigators, and it's some pretty cool stuff. And so you may or may not know it, but he and Elton, I can't remember Elton's last name, but he's a big YouTube creator and investigator in the paranormal. He and Matt Rife together own becomes the guardian for the new the Annabelle doll, not the new Annabelle doll, and the Warren Museum. So they are guardians. I think he might own the Warren Museum now, but he isn't. They don't own the artifacts, but they are considered legal guardians of the artifacts, if that makes sense. And so it'll be interesting. It sounds like they're promoting people to investigate these things. And I'm not so sure that I'm all sold on the whole Annabelle legend, but it's obviously, some people have had some pretty unfortunate events, and there's quite a sordid history to it. So there could be something very dark attached to it, and I would advise caution in that always, because we don't really know what we're dealing with. If the Annabelle doll is truly harboring some sort of demonic presence, that's the last thing you do is investigate it. Just a bunch of enthusiasts with their meters and tape recorders or digital recorders and flashlights going and trying to solve the Annabelle riddle. I just think that's could be extraordinarily dangerous. But let's check out the article, because that's the next one up from unexplained-mysteries.com. Comedian becomes new guardian of haunted Annabelle doll. The doll, along with the Ed and Lorraine's home and museum, has been acquired by comedian Matt Rife. The notorious doll, which is featured in some of the recent films in the Conjuring series, not really, they adapted the hell out of the whole Annabelle idea. But anyway, was acquired by the Warrens, two of the most famous paranormal investigators in history back in the 70s. The story goes that it was originally gifted to a student nurse who was later told by a medium that it was possessed by the spirit of a deceased girl named Annabelle. Before long, it was rumored that the doll had exhibited malicious behavior, ultimately leading the Warrens taking possession of it and keeping it on display at their museum. The doll made headline news again recently when Dan Rivera, who had been traveling around the U.S. with it as part of the Devils on the Run tour, died suddenly in his hotel room. And while this might seem to have been the end for Annabelle, reports have since emerged that the doll has been acquired alongside the Warrens Museum by stand-up comic Matt Rife and YouTuber Elton Castee for an undisclosed sum. Rife noted that the building is one of the most important and prominent pieces of paranormal history in the world. Ed and Lorraine Warren took demonology, ghost hunting, and paranormal investigating and made them mainstream, he said. The Conjuring films are my favorite scary movies of all time, so I'm incredibly honored to have taken over one of the most prominent properties in paranormal history. Rife now plans to reopen the museum to the public and allow overnight stays, and still can't believe we're the new owners, Castee wrote. Sitting on the porch, now looking at all the photos of them at this house, we're going to make this the best paranormal investigation location on the planet. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm not so sure I'm all in on this Annabelle thing or not. I think it's interesting, and it's certainly a cautionary tale, but I still wouldn't recommend people that really have no idea what they're doing and aren't really well trained in protecting themselves and protecting each other and how to open and close sessions and to what the hell they're doing. I would caution against it, honestly. I don't think you poke the bear with a stick and see what happens, because sometimes the bear answers, and it's not a happy thing. So I don't know. Time will tell, I guess, but that's the story. Maybe you heard about that before, but maybe not. And if not, you're welcome, because you know it now, thanks to the Paranormal Portal News and unexplained-mysteries.com. One more. We're going to go through one more. I have no idea what the hell this is. Oh, yeah. Okay, I did hear something about this. I saw the headline and I was like, what the hell is this? Hot blob, what the hell is this? All right, according to unexplained-mysteries.com, oh, here we go. Hoop Oracle says, some make dolls from real hair, fingernails, and a person's actual clothing, and if it's a bad person, doll might end up bad. Certainly there's that possibility. Hair is believed to retain karma from wherever it came from. And that's some of the spiritual question marks for, some people that buy actual human hair wigs and, and wear them. And they can be beautifully done and look striking. But what comes with that? That was grown on a person, exposed to their energy field, so it probably has an imprint. You just got to hope they're good people, right? Because if your hair comes from some guy that was an absolute dick or some woman that's an absolute, wench, then you might be inheriting some of that just by throwing that in your head. Just saying. But yeah, absolutely. Dolls are a fascinating subject. So let's check out this one from unexplained-mysteries.com. Huge hot blob is moving towards New York City, study finds. Huh? What the hell's a hot blob, first of all? It's not very descriptive, but I do think I understand what this is talking about. Something is stirring deep beneath the ground, and it's moving in the direction of the Big Apple. That just sounds horrible, right? I'm thinking Godzilla, right? In my mind, Godzilla's about to poke his head up off of Manhattan Island somewhere. Let's see what it says, though. According to researchers, this anomalous blob is a vast, searing hot mass of over 220 miles across, is currently situated beneath the Appalachian Mountains, and has been moving quietly southwestward, putting it on a course to pass beneath New York City. Huh? Like, yeah, Scoob. Residents needn't fear, however, because it is moving at a glacial pace of 12 miles per million years. meaning that it'll take about 10 to 15 million years to actually get there. Oh, we're fine. No worries. Known officially as the Northern Appalachian Anomaly, this peculiar subterranean feature likely formed 80 million years ago when Greenland began to separate from North America. Its heat may have even contributed to the uplift of the mountains themselves. Our research suggests it is part of a much larger, slow-moving process deep underground and could potentially help explain why mountain ranges like the Appalachians are still standing. Said study lead author Tom Gurnan, of the University... I graduated with the Tom Gurnan. The University of Southampton. Probably not that one, though. Heat at the base of the continent can weaken and remove part of its dense root, making the continent lighter and more buoyant, like a hot air balloon rising after dropping its ballast. And this would have caused the ancient mountains to be further uplifted over the past few million years. And it's hoped that the research will help to reveal more about the processes that shape Earth's geology. That's a little creepy, though. So you know what? I gotta be honest. So this big hot blob is moving beneath the surface, and we got some weird anomaly coming into our solar system that seems to be behaving absolutely atypical to a natural phenomena, according to Avi Loeb of Harvard. So what if they're somehow related? Did you guys see the movie War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise? And like the lightning things start, and then all of a sudden these crawler things come out of the earth, and it turns out they were there millions of years ago, just kind of sitting dormant. And then the aliens show up and activate them, and then they start like shop vacuuming up everybody. You know, their big hoses out there just vacuuming them up like ants on a cookie pile. Yeah. So I don't know. What if they're related? Ooh, what if the hot blob is some kind of mothership just sitting down there? I don't know. Just saying. It's probably absolutely ridiculous to associate anything about those two. But that's how my brain works. Carjuice says, I agree, Brent, not good. Yeah, talking about the Annabelle stuff. Yeah, I got you. Good to see you, Carjuice. I see you came in. Good to have you here. So we got Carjuice has joined Barbara and Justin over on Rumble. And Dog Digger's in there too. Got you, brother. Thanks for coming in. All you guys. So anybody else come in? Here, Bogart's here. Sharon Sunshine came in. Good to see you. Karen Alberting, it's aliens. Absolutely. Steph the contractor is here. Good to see you, Steph. Oh, that's right. Steph. Is it Steve? I don't know. It looks like Steph. Anyway, anybody else I missed? D Oceans is here. Good to see you, D. Good to see anybody else? I don't see anybody else that I didn't see before, but happy to see you all now. So that is the last news story for the night. So, excuse me. Oh, that's sweet. I gotta see if Sheldon's coming. I gotta see. So I'm gonna close this up. That is the presentation of the Paranormal Portal news tonight. We got a lot more to get to, so just buckle up. All right, let's go back to the rest of the show. I really wish I didn't text like at a speed of a toddler. I'm very slow when it comes to texting. I'm like one thumbing. So, not really good. Hey, Yeshua says we're all going to die. Yeah, we are. That's probably one of the only constants we can all count on. We're all going to die someday. At least our bodies will. I don't think we do, but, you know, relatively speaking. All right. That is there. Just message Sheldon. Say, hey, are you able to make it tonight? Hi, Hooking Good Creations by Tina. Came in. Good to have you here. Thank you. Yeah, nobody loves a hot blob. I'm just saying. The ocean says it's one hot blob. Yeah, it's been a hot blob in lots of parts of the country right now, but it's actually kind of chilly here. I was surprised. When I got home, it was not very hot. And I think today was like 70 or less. I don't know. We got a heat wave coming again, but it was very unusual. Very unusual. It just makes me think, God, we're getting to the end of summer. Is that possible? I just don't like that part. I really don't. I literally mourn summer as it's ending. It hurts. I don't like it. All right. Anyway, not that you tuned in to hear my whining, but you get it free of charge. That's how lucky you are. Okay, I use the voice thing because my texting is so slow. Huge. The ghost box said huge. Yeah, huge big blob. Maybe that's what it's talking about. A little slow, ghost box. A little slow, if that's what you mean. I don't know. Earlier it said 1729 before the show started, actually. So it said two things. What is a hot blob? Well, if you missed the last news story unknown, then I guess you didn't get it. But there's a hot blob moving under the crust of the earth in the Appalachian Mountains heading to New York City. Some huge, colossal hot blob. And the good news is, though, is it'll probably really reach New York City in about 12 million years. So we got time. We got time to pack a sandwich. All right, there we go. That was the news. What are we going to do now? What do you want to do now? Okay. You'd think I would plan this stuff out. Well, actually, I do. I have a plan of things that I want to do. Let me look here. I was going to go into this tonight, but I think I'm going to just tie this in with, it's really kind of crappy though. How does that look? Not really that great. Yeah, it's about the same size anyway. There's an article I know I did years and years and years and years ago. And it has to do with ghost photos, and I've been teasing it for a while. Unfortunately, these photos don't really blow up that big, but we'll look at them. But I'm going to tie it in with what the hell is that, because it's more in line with what the hell is that than it is with just going through a normal article like usual. And then, of course, we got a few stories from Sasquatch Chronicles. Unfortunately, Phantoms and Monsters is still not up yet. I'm so excited for when Lon gets that taken care of, because that'll be excellent to hit back into his group of amazing stories. I'll be happy when fire season's over. Yeah, Kevin, I got you there. Yeah, I agree. I don't like that part either. I think, the up here in the north of Idaho, fire season is like, we call that, well, I don't know where you're from, Kevin, but we call it fall up here. I mean, that's basically what it is. Like, the fire season hits at the end, that very tail end of summer, because up here there just doesn't really rain during the summer months. It's really wet in the later fall, and into winter is really wet, and then spring, but then the whole summer months are generally really dry. But it's always hazy up here at the end of summer, because there's fires going on, and there's, it's just bound to happen. I mean, we have forests full of matchsticks. I mean, really, those conifer trees are really so easily flammable that they just go up, and when they go up, it's just like, that just goes. You ever burn pine logs in your fireplace? You know that they just snap, and they're angry. They got all that sap in them, and they burn hot, but they burn fast. And that's the way the forests up here are. When they light up, they're gone. Boom. Nova Scotia, Kevin says. Okay, gotcha. Well, welcome to the show, Kevin. Nice to meet you. Hopefully you like it and decide to stick around, because we love when new people show up here at the portal. Just ask everybody in the chat. They'll tell you. We love it, right, guys? This is the part you write yes. Right, yes. Type yes. Okay. I thought you were from Onaping Falls. I don't know what that means. Onaping? I don't know. We don't get too many tornadoes. Yeah, we don't get tornadoes up here either. Not even a lot of thunderstorms, oddly. Hi, Deb Varber. Varber. How did I say Varber? Because I saw Bogart after that. That's why. Long-time listener on Spotify. Oh, wonderful, Kevin. Well, thank you for that support and love. I appreciate it. That's the podcast, which is quite a bit different format than these live streams, but both part of the same umbrella of Paranormal Portal. So thank you for being a listener. I appreciate that. Steph, the contractor in Colorado, forest fires occur anytime. Always a gamble. Yeah, there's no doubt. It's very, very similar anywhere along the Rockies, really. You're always rolling the dice that some forest fire is going to be starting somewhere. Hello, Mike Prine over on Facebook. Good to see ya. We do get tornadoes here in the good old Paranormal Ohio. Yeah, you guys get everything in Ohio. That's crazy. Ohio is just off the charts. Pennsylvania is really crazy too, though. I was surprised to learn that. Yep. All right, so we have to get to this. I think I'm just gonna kind of launch the. I gotta see if Sheldon answered. Sorry, I'm a little scattered, but he's no, he hasn't read it even. So I don't know. He's been having some bad headaches lately. I don't know if it's something in the air up there, because actually he was saying that they've been getting Canadian fire smoke where he is in Minnesota, and so that's been really maybe affecting him, and so that might be leading to him getting lots of headaches. Texas has been a bad too. Oh, never mind. Speaking of the man, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, no, migraine's been pretty good this week, actually. It's been dealing with the flu all week, and yesterday was the first day I was really starting to get better. But
oh, really?
I was so foggy today, though. Even though I'm like kind of feeling fine, just not as energetic.
Yeah.
I am so foggy today.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
We are way better than we were.
I gotta figure out why the hell is this doing this? It's showing my. I'm not using my camera on your screen, but it's showing my block on your screen, on the Zoom screen. So I'm just trying to figure out how to turn that off.
Your block, oh.
Well, no, like here, I'll put it on screen. You can see what I'm talking about. This is what it looks like. Well, I don't need my half of that screen. I don't need this part lit up and even there. So usually I have this off, but Zoom, like every software company, if you work for a software company, go and I was trying to figure out a nicer way to say this. Go and yell at the developers and ask them why the hell they feel the need to move everything around after they do an update. Like, what the hell are they doing other than justifying their existence? It just pisses me off to no end. It's like, oh, thank you for moving everything around and changing subtitles and menus. That makes it so much more fun to go live and try to figure out what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, I've noticed. I don't know why they keep, because then you get used to the system, you get used to the layout, and then they change it the next major update. I don't never understand why they do that.
I don't either. I'm just looking through my settings here. Anybody sees it, let me know. It just doesn't tell me.
I mean, on Discord, I know if like you double click the user you want to see, it just brings that user up.
Well, maybe that's something I gotta try. Let's see. Let's view speaker. Maybe I'll just do this. Oh. Now it's, yeah, but every time I talk, is it going to go to me now? No, it's just showing you, I guess. Maybe I'll just show. Maybe that'll work.
Well,
let's do this.
The solution.
There's a solution.
Yeah.
We'll take it. Okay. All right, we'll go with that for now. Are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, your camera was frozen there for a second.
Oh.
All right, that'll kind of work. Let me just adjust the framing a little bit here, because it's still giving you a lot of real estate.
Whoa, why do I keep freezing?
I don't know. I noticed that, but it looks like it's better now on my end. Whatever that's worth. Sorry, folks, a little live troubleshooting here, but Sheldon will be sometimes frozen. And
technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties. Absolutely. Okay, well, there we go. Looks like we found a workaround, at least for now. Are you freezing up on your end, Sheldon?
No, everything's running very smoothly.
Okay. That's weird. I don't know why it's being so funky. All right, well, wouldn't be the first time here on the portal that we have technical problems.
It's a tradition. It's got to be something.
It is a tradition, isn't it? It's so sad that that's my legacy is technical problems. And hi, Jill Decker. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Yeah, it's always gremlins. You're right, John. There's always gremlins or ghosts in the machines. It's what keeps the world fun, I guess. All right, well, I'm going to start. Actually, this next segment is going to be, because it's actually almost into the second hour already. My God. Ooh, we're going to get into what the hell is that now, because I have an article I want to go through, and it deals with a lot of the stuff that we talk about on What the Hell Is That. So rather than have it be it's a separate article, I just thought we'll throw it together. You good with that, Sheldon?
It sounds excellent.
What the hell is that?
That's what I'm asking too. What the hell is that? Well, we're going to find out, folks, because I have an article open. This is an old article. It's been around for a long time. I'm looking at it was, well, it looks like it was updated on the 24th of 2024, almost a year ago, actually. It was last updated July 24th of last year. And it's written by a guy named Stephen Wagner, and I'm a big fan of his work. He's written a ton of different articles about this weird and wonderful stuff. And it's live on liveabout.com. And that's literally the URL, liveabout.com or liveabout.com. And it's best ghost pictures ever taken. Now, the problem with this is it's not a huge article as far as the images. But in all fairness, is most of these images are very old and probably weren't a lot bigger than what we can see here. So ghost photos are always, what's the word I'm going to try to say here? They're always prone to fakes, to hoaxing, to, foolishness like that. But I do believe there's been some amazing captures through the years. And these images that are featured in here that Stephen Wagner pointed out are actually incredibly iconic ghost photos in the paranormal world. So I'm not suggesting they have to be real, but I'm suggesting that they've literally spanned the test of time. They didn't just appear and then just go out into obscurity. These photos have been around forever and they are incredible. So let's take a look at this. The first one he brings up is the Brown Lady, and it's number 1 of 28. So there's 28 images total in this article. It's arguably the most famous and well-regarded ghost picture ever taken. And this one does have a really cool backstory, and I'm going to blow it up a little bit so you can see. But here it is, and this was an incidental capture. This wasn't a capture that was like, let's frame up the stair shot. What it was is I think it was Town and Country magazine was going around doing a tour of this house. And the photographer was just walking around snapping shots, and he snapped the picture of this stairwell. And when he developed it, this former nun, it looks like a former nun or someone like that, appeared in the developed image. And it's a fascinating take. So let's read what it says. The ghost is thought to be that of Lady Dorothy Townsend, wife of Charles Townsend, 2nd Viscount of Raynham, residence of Raynham Hall, Norfolk, England. So I guess she wasn't a nun. She's just dressed, I guess, very ancient regally or something. I don't know. So it was in the early 1700s, and it was rumored Dorothy, before her marriage to Charles, had been the mistress of Lord Wharton. Charles suspected Dorothy of infidelity, although, according to legal records, she died and was buried in 1726. It was suspected that the funeral was a sham and that Charles had locked his wife away in a remote corner of the house until her death many years later. Ugh. That's a creepy backstory, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what if he was just obviously he's a nut job, right? So if he locked her up but I will say that, certainly those kind of events back in that day were absolutely poisonous for people. I mean, it'd be probably socially easier to fake her death than to acknowledge the fact that this happened and all of the humiliation that would bring on his house, on his name, and all of that. So maybe it wasn't as insane, but it was still a very desperate, horrible move. So anyway, that explains the backstory, but the picture is really phenomenal. Here's the story about that. Dorothy's ghost is said to haunt the oak staircase and other areas of Raynham Hall. In the early 1800s, King George IV, while staying at Raynham Hall, saw the figure of a woman in a brown dress standing beside his bed. She was seen again standing in the hall in 1835 by Colonel Loftus, who was visiting for the Christmas holidays. He saw her again a week later and described her as wearing a brown satin dress, her skin glowing with a pale luminescence. And it also seemed to him that her eyes had been gouged out. A few years later, Captain Frederick Marriott and 2 friends saw the brown lady gliding along an upstairs hallway, carrying a lantern. As she passed, Marriott said she grinned at the men in a diabolical manner. Marriott fired a pistol at the apparition, but the bullet passed right through. This famous photo was taken in September 1936 by Captain Provind and Indri Shira, 2 photographers who were assigned to photograph Raynham Hall for Country Life magazine. Sorry, it's Country Life magazine. And this is what happened according to them. Captain Provind took 1 photograph while I flashed the light. He was focused for another exposure, and I was standing by his side just behind the camera with the flashlight pistol in my hand, looking directly at the staircase. And all at once, I detected an ethereal veiled form coming slowly down the stairs. So actually, they did see it. Rather excitedly, I called out sharply, "Quick, quick, there's something." I pressed the trigger of the flashlight pistol, and after the flash and on closing the shutter, Captain Proven removed the focusing cloth from his head and turned to me, said, "What's all the excitement about?" Upon developing the film, the image of the brown lady ghost was seen for the first time. It was published in December 16th, 1936. That's how old this is, right?
Wow.
Which is phenomenal that it actually made the press. And it was in the 1936 issue of Country Life. The ghost has been seen occasionally since. That's interesting. I wonder if the activity is as pronounced as it once was, or has it subsided through the years? You know what I mean?
It too. Yeah.
Well, the thing is obviously, if the story is correct of what happened, then she was tormented and in a horrible situation for the ending of her life. So certainly she probably had unfinished business. But
yeah,
does that process work itself out? Does the spirit come to terms with that, or do they linger in that state forever, or does some part of her linger in that state forever? And I don't know. That's the curiosity, right?
That is the mystery. That is one of the many mysteries. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting to me. I do think this is a legitimate photo and a legitimate capture. Obviously, it's possible that things like that could have even been faked. In 1936, dark room, double exposures and stuff were nothing new. They've been around since photographs have been around. But I just think it's if the narrative is correct, this is really an exceptional capture. And it's also interesting that it corresponds with the history of people seeing an apparition that looks just like this. Crazy, huh?
Extremely.
All right, well, that's the first one.
Well, hold up. We have Spaced Out Radio that came in.
Mr. Dave Scott.
$5 Canadians.
Woo!
BF and Arthur is golden, I tell you. Golden.
Thank you, Betty. That's Betty White, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Dave Scott, because he's timeless. I might be golden, but he's timeless. Excellent, sir. Thanks for everything, brother. Thank you. I'll give you a hand. Seems like I must be sitting higher in my chair than normal. You're seeing a lot more of my chest and like my head's cut off. That's weird.
Ooh.
No, it's no problem at all. I can just adjust it. The power of OBS. There we go. Now you see a little more of me and less of my shirt. My Seattle shirt.
There you go.
All right, so that was the first one. I think that's an interesting one. I think it's a fantastic. What do you guys think? One in the chat. You think that's a legitimate capture, or 0? You think that's just some fakery going way back? What do you think? Legitimate capture, number 1 in the chats, if you would, please. Or 0, you think, nah, that's not real. What do you think?
Yeah, I lean towards 1.
Me too. Personally, I do, yeah. All right, Maggie's 0.5. She's right in the middle there. Vincent, Rachel's 1, Chucky's 1, Vincent's 1, Bogart's 1, Sharon Sunshine, John Stevenson, all 1s. Annie's halfway there. Barbara Mora and Carjuice 1s over in Rumble. Harder to fake that old tech. It is true. It is. But everybody that was developing film back then would have been exceptionally good at it. It's not like, I'm sure there were hobbyists still, but it was expensive to buy the developers and stuff. So you had to be really professional to have your own dark room. Could be done. Henry Dong says 1. Karen Alberting says 1. Chris Sirk says real deal. Fair enough. Yeshua says 1. Hook and Good Creations 1. Yeah, I really think this is good. I think this is a great capture. And again, it's such a compelling story. Tragic, horribly tragic, but it's absolutely the recipe for, you want a haunting, that's how you make one. Lock somebody in a part of your house for the rest of their life and fake their death. You'll probably get one. Don't do that, really. I'm not suggesting you do that. Nobody do that ever. Okay. All right, that's the first one. We got more. All right, this is the Lord Combermere photo. This is the second one. Now, what you're looking at is right here in this chair.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out that was Lord Combermere's favorite chair. However, this photo was taken after he died. So, interesting story. Could he have appeared in his favorite chair? Sure. I mean, don't have to be Lord Combermere to appear in a chair in a parlor of your house. There's, chairs are always, very commonly in ghost sightings. Most common is these seated apparitions. Maybe not most common, but very common. Like the grandmother staring out into the window, sitting in a rocking chair by the window.
Well, either A, he was a shorter man, or
I don't know how big it was. People then were a lot shorter anyway. Good nutrition and healthier living, I think, has made us bigger people than we were back in this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might not see a vegetable for months. Back in the days, like salty meats and preserved stuff, you don't have a freezer section in your local grocery store where you can pick up the veggies, mixed veggie California mix. You dealt with whatever you had or had canned. So, yeah, I mean, certainly nutrition was kind of an afterthought in a lot of ways. You just ate because you needed to stay alive. They probably didn't know a whole lot about nutrition back then, really. All right, so let's check it out. This picture of the Combermere Abbey Library was taken in 1891 by Sybil Corbett. The figure of a man can be faintly seen sitting in the chair to the left. His head, collar, right arm, and the armrest are discernible, and it's believed to be the ghost of Lord Combermere. He was a British cavalry commander in the early 1800s who distinguished himself in several military campaigns. Combermere Abbey, located in Cheshire, England, was founded by the Benedictine monks in 1133. Holy history. In 1540, King Henry VII kicked out the Benedictines. Oh, jeez. He was such a gem. And the abbey later became the seat of Sir George Cotton, KT, Vice Chamberlain to the household of Prince Edward, son of Henry VII, and in 1814, Sir Stapleton Cotton, a descendant of Sir George, took the title Lord Combermere, and in 1817 became the governor of Barbados, and today the abbey is a tourist attraction and hotel. Wow, that'd be fantastic to go stay there. Imagine a building, you could go stay in a building that was built in 1133. I mean, really?
Oh my God.
Here in the States, we got 1600, 17, 1800, but it's like 500 years before that. Holy man. Lord Combermere died in 1891, having been struck and killed by a horse-drawn carriage. Ooh. At the time, Sybil Corbett took the above ghost picture. Combermere's funeral was taking place some 4 miles away. Oh, okay. The photographic exposure Corbett recorded took about an hour. Some people think a servant might have wandered into the room and sit briefly in the chair to create this transparent image. The idea is refuted by members of the household, however, testifying they were all attending Lord Combermere's funeral. So what do you think? Is that Lord Combermere? Let's take a look. See, this is the one where it actually is bigger on the main page, and then you click it, and it's a little bit smaller. So it's a little more contrast, though, without that white on it. You can really make out the figure, his arm draped over the edge of the chair here, of course, his head. So the house is empty except for the photographer at the time of this photo. So
I wish they had if there was a photo of Lord Combermere himself to compare what we see.
Well, that's a good point. I don't know what Lord Combermere looked like. I'm sure there is, paintings or whatever of him being, this figure of note, but I don't know what that is. I don't know what he looked like. Question is, what do you guys think? 1, it's real. 0, not real. What do you think? All right, maybe, Sharon Sunshine says. Annie Manil says, nope. Annie, you're kind of a tough crack tonight. Tough egg to crack is what I meant to say, but tough crack, I don't know. I ended up omitting a whole word there. Sorry. That's how my brain's working tonight. Maggie says no. Rachel says no. John Stevenson says no. Bogart says yeah. Chucky's halfway there. Mike Prine says yeah, it's real. Yeshua says no. He's got a long head. So he's got a long head? Why do you think it's a long head? Maybe. It's kind of sitting kind of high there, isn't it? Maybe he's got a long neck. I don't know. He's too small for the table and chair. Maybe it's a diminutive little leprechaun. We don't know. They're always after me, Lucky Charms. I don't know. I don't know. You're right, though. He's a short guy, but maybe he really was. Maybe he's a short man in stature. He's too small for the table. That's a good perspective issue, though. You're right. That chair, he looks like a toddler in there with a beard, doesn't he?
That's what I was trying to say before, but I mean, when you're pure energy, I mean, who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you can shed some pounds when you're a spiritual ball of energy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good point, though. That is surprisingly little. So maybe it's not him, but do you think it could be a ghost? Maybe it's not Lord Combermere. Maybe it's some kid that didn't make it. Maybe, or some other creepiness that I don't want to even think about. But Henry Dong says nope. Hooking Good Creation says no by Tina.
I like Rachel's point. What was the intention of the photo?
I don't
think
know
about that too with like some of those videos that pop up. Why were you videoing this, and then all of a sudden this happens, or that kind of thing.
It could have been I don't know if any of this decoration on the table is maybe a sort of memoir to his life. Maybe it was an image of that. The interesting thing is I don't know what this is. This looks like a chair too. This actually looks like a throne, like a big chair. This looks like a chair. This, I don't know. Maybe he's a dwarf. I don't know. But in any case, there you go. Maybe real, maybe not. Portal Mom says 1. She's in. She's all in. Says it's real. How you doing, Mama? So, I don't know, folks. It's up to you. Could be real. Could be, maybe. I don't know. But you're right. The scale is a little concerning. Although he's sitting way up there. Maybe they had a booster seat. Maybe the guy was like 3.5 feet tall. We just don't know. It's like Game of Thrones or something. I don't know. What's that little guy's name?
Lord Tyrion.
Lord Tyrion. I mean, it's a Lord Tyrion kind of deal. They just did his paintings bigger, but he was actually a wee little guy. No offense to little people. I think little people are amazing and magical, but yeah, I just think that's bizarre. I don't know. This is an interesting one. I've heard of this one for a long time. This one's called Freddie Jackson. Now, rather than paraphrase it, I guess I'll just read it. But it's definitely a case where there was a photobomb going on, and the interesting story is this guy was not alive when this happened. The peeking face, that guy's name is Freddie Jackson. Freddie Jackson died days before this in an accident on the ship. However, he still made it for the photo. All right, the intriguing photo was taken in 1919, was first published in 1975 by Sir Victor Goddard, retired Royal Air Force officer. The ghost in the picture is a group portrait of the Goddard Squadron, which had served in World War I at the HMS Daedalus. I had to think of how to pronounce that. Training facility. An extra ghostly face appears in the photo in the back of the airman positioned in the top row. Fourth from the left can clearly be seen the face of another man. It's said to be the face of Freddie Jackson, an air mechanic who had been accidentally killed by an airplane propeller just 2 days earlier. His funeral had taken place on the day this ghost picture was snapped. Members of the squadron easily recognized the face as Jackson's. It's been suggested that Jackson, unaware of his death, decided to show up in the group photo. I'll see if we can make it a little bigger. Again, more contrast helps. Being on the dark background helps to see what's going on. But this is the image right here. It's actually right here in the main image. This is the main image that they're zoomed in on. But this is apparently Freddie Jackson. So what do you think of that one, guys? One, Freddie showed up. You don't see this?
Top, the one you circled in the top, almost in the middle.
Yeah, right here. The face is peeking out right behind.
Yeah, but when you I don't see the face when you look at the actual photo part. You don't see those same features.
I can see it, but I have to lean into my screen. Again, this isn't actual size. It's been, shrunk a little bit to fit in the page. But, this is a World War I training video. So we got Annie saying, yeah, she's all in on this one. Cool. Rachel gets it right. 1. John Stevenson, 1. Bogart, 1. Karen Alberding, 1. It's real. Yeshua says 1. John Known says, don't know. Fair enough. Maggie says 1. Chucky Danger says 1. Hook and Good Creations by Tina. No, not so much believing it. Car Juice said 1. I think this one is true too, Barbara says. So, yep. Absolutely.
I'd say this one is definitely a 1 because it's an official military photo. They're not gonna pull some stuff like that on
True. No. True. Good point. Bizarre old story, Mike Prine says, yeah. Elaine Clifford says, yeah, she's all in. Cool Hand, not so much. That's okay. Everybody's entitled to your opinion, folks. There aren't any wrong answers. Hi, everyone. Person turquoise waving. Oh, hi, Avi. Good to see you. John Temperan's all in on this one. Linda is too. So there we go. Two Faces looks the same.
But you can see more of the forehead on the second one. In the first one, you can't.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. It's like, I don't think they're the same. The noses, again, you guys can't see it as clearly as I can. It's much bigger on my screen than it is on the screen here. Let me see if I can do this maybe. Does that make it a little bigger? You can see the nose is different. Looks like the eyebrow is different from this eye to this eye.
Yep, eyes are different.
The mouth and chin area, the chin on this guy is bigger than the chin on this guy. So it's a more narrow chin on the ghostly apparition. But yeah, I mean, it's shocking. But again, you're right. That's a great point, Sheldon, that this is an image that was done to record a piece of history for the military. So it's not like, hey, let's put Freddie in there, in the dark room. No. So that probably didn't happen. I'm all in on this one too. It's not really a match. Now, granted, you could look at any of these faces and say they're the same. There was, the quality is not amazing, but to me they got very different facial features. I'll put a link in here and you guys can look for yourself. You can check it out and try to blow it up as much as you can on whatever you're watching on. I think it's a fantastic capture, personally. Not that you need to believe it, because I believe it. So sorry, real life calls. Thanks, Brent, Sheldon. Thank you, Maggie. It's great to see you for as long as you could be here.
Maggie.
Thank you. So that's the Freddie Jackson story. Pretty fascinating, though. Exceptionally fascinating. All right.
Very, very good capture.
Yeah, I think this one's exceptional. And I if Freddy was, it's not uncommon to hear stories of people lingering, and there's many cultures that believe after a person dies, they linger for up to 7 days, sometimes more. It depends on the spirit, but at least several days. But so if he had just died 2 days before this, it would make sense that his spirit could very well be lingering, and he's not standing right between two guys going, "Hey, here I am." He's kind of peeking out like, "Yeah, hey, I made it. I'm in the photo." You thought you got rid of me? No, I'm still here. So you can check it out. Open that link and check it out. And did it not go into the? Did it not? Yeah, I did. It did appear. Okay. Mm-hmm. I thought Maggie's message came before that, but it actually, I guess, came after that. Okay. All right. Well, that was the next one. That was Freddie Jackson. I think it's pretty fascinating stuff, folks. The tulip staircase ghost. This one's kind of, well, it's a lot creepy, actually, because it looks more like a wraith. And I'm going to blow it up first so you guys can see it as much as I can. And what we're looking at, this is a staircase, a winding staircase. This is a drop-off here. However, in the image, it looks like this weird wraith-like being is kind of coming up the outside of the railing, going up. Unless this is the underside. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm looking at perspective. Maybe it's going up and it's on the inside, like it's on the other side of the rail. So this isn't empty space. This is the wall. This is the underside of the stairs.
Oh boy, I see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Man.
The perspective was blowing me a little bit. I was like, what am I looking at here again?
Oh.
But this is the...
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. My brain can't decide now.
Yeah, I know. It kind of flashes back and forth, right? I'm stroking out. Look at this. But this is a potentially great capture, too. Let's check out the story on it. Reverend Ralph Hardy, a retired clergyman from White Rock, British Columbia, took this now famous photograph in 1966. He intended merely to photograph the elegant spiral staircase known as the Tulip Staircase in the Queen's House section of the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, England. Upon development, however, the photo revealed a shrouded figure climbing the stairs, seeming to hold the railing with both hands. Experts, including some from Kodak, who examined the original negative, concluded that it had not been tampered with. It's been said that unexplained figures have been seen near the staircase, and unexplained footsteps have also been heard. The ghost picture isn't the only evidence of ghostly activity at the Queen's House. The 400-year-old building is credited with several other apparitions and phantom footsteps even today. A few years ago, a gallery assistant was discussing a tea break with two colleagues when he saw one of the doors to the bridge room close by itself, and at first, he thought it was one of the lecturers. Other ghostly going-ons include the unexplained choral chanting of children. Oh, that's kind of creepy, right? If you heard a bunch of voices of kids chanting, would that not just be a serious pucker moment?
Well, yeah, I feel like, kind of like we've said many times, if you're hearing a ghostly child, it's either a trickster or it's something really dark. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying that's creepy. But imagine something like let me just see here. Something like this, but with kids' voices.
No, I'm good.
That's that song, Amino.
Yes.
It's a great song, but I was like, could you imagine like a bunch of kids? It's like, no. Well, there you go. What do you guys think? Is this phantom figure climbing the stairs? Kodak looked at it. They said there's no tampering from the evidence on the negative. So what do you think?
My brain is still not sure which one to believe.
No, it's definitely the latter. This is on the inside of the stairs. This is the underside of the stairs. And that's the railing going up, winding up.
Oh, so this is a picture kind of from under?
Yeah, it's from underneath, showing the rounding staircase winding up. So this is the wall.
My brain is refusing to see that now. It wants to see the other side.
Yeah, Elaine Clifford says, yeah, it's real. I'm in on this one, too. I'm in on this one. I don't understand what the figure is or what it could be, but I'm here to tell you that, we oftentimes discuss on the show that not everything that exists as a spirit to us is a person and has been a person. So it could be an ancient person wearing some kind of shroud or cloak or something like that, robe, if you will. But it could be something else that was never a person, but it's humanoid, like a shadow figure, but obviously not a shadow. So I don't know. Interesting. Yeshua says, yeah, Annie Manul's halfway there. Chris Sirk says, yeah, it's real. Cool Hands got a half on there, halfway there. Fair enough. Rachel says yes. John says yes. Stevenson, Chucky Danger is all in.
Well, look how creepy that arm is, too. I mean, look at how much one of the arms extends. Like, it's not proportional.
Like, there's one here, and then there's one way up here.
Way over there, yeah.
Yeah, and then what's the head tilted sideways for? What is that all about? Like,
yeah, it's actually really very well done from the specter there. It was very creepy. Well done.
Yeah, it's disturbing. So maybe, says John Temprin. Gotcha. Bogart's all in, yeah, but look at the back wall with a little head with the way dots. Oh, this is a sconce. It's like a sconce, a lighting sconce. There's 1, 2, 3 lights on it. It's hard maybe to see, but there's 3 dots. That's basically the bottom of the light sconces. So I think that's just a lighting fixture on the wall.
Yeah.
So interesting stuff, though. Stairs look funny. They do. The perspective's a little weird, but again, I don't know what the staircase looks like in the best of times. Maybe it's possible to research, but it was the tulip staircase at the Queen's House section of the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, England. So if anybody wants to look up other pictures of that, I guess we can look. What was it called? The Queen's House section? Tulip? Oh, I don't want this. Don't give me Bing, Ting, or Wing, or whatever the hell it is.
Oh.
What was it? The tulip? Staircase?
Staircase, yeah.
Ghost. Here we go. Queen's House Ghost. I just wonder if we can find some images that show us. Here's another exposure of it. Maybe a lot easier to see. Let's see if we can see this better.
Ooh.
There it is. Much easier to see. It's not nearly as washed out as that image.
Good.
So
that's better.
Yeah. That's much, much, much clearer. And it makes the apparition looks much more wispy and ethereal.
Yeah, it does.
So
what year was this taken, or supposedly?
56 or something like that. Let's see, when was it? Oh, 1966.
1966. Oh my
Yep.
God.
So it was not during digital. Nobody was photoshopping back then.
Nope, definitely not.
So there you go, 1966. There's the image. It's a lot clearer to see it on this picture. It's not as grainy. The other one's so grainy. But that's okay. Still, is that place empty? It's a museum, so it's, I guess, probably not empty, but not full. It's not.
Put it, yeah.
Not lived in anyway, probably.
Rachel says you'd need a tripod, a special shutter release cable, so you don't shake the cam with your finger and leave the shutter open. The ghost would pose, then walk off screen, then the shutter closed. And then ghosts appear as I finish that sentence. Oh, God.
There we go. We're being visited right here. Somebody take a picture. Take a picture.
They agree.
Yep. Three of them showed up. So apparently there's a consensus, I think, with 3, right? Very interesting. Very interesting photo. I think that's fascinating. And you can also see that it's a hooded head and it's looking down. Like looking down at its own feet kind of thing.
Yeah.
From this image. So it gives you a little more clear. So it almost looks wraith-like,
Yeah, with a 6-foot-long arm.
It's got one normal arm and one Sasquatch arm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's funny. There it is, folks. I think that one's good. That's a great capture. I think all of these are probably decent captures. But again, you guys are pointing out some great things to look at that I didn't consider. So there you go. There you go. Could be a sheet covering furnitures. Who puts furniture on the stairs? That definitely is.
I don't even know what kind of furniture it would be.
Yeah, I don't either.
To have that shape.
But it's actually grabbing the rail here and here. Like it's actually blocking the line of the rail a little bit. And that clearly looks like a robed arm, and a robed arm really stretched out. And then a bowed hooded head. So not sure exactly what we're looking at, but...
Oh, Pixie Ranger says, I just looked up National Maritime Museum, Greenwich, England staircase, and it's a spiral staircase.
Yeah, yep. So it's winding up in probably some kind of parapet-shaped structure, you know.
Oh, there's an actual photo right on Google, right there.
Which one?
Of a top-down perspective, looks like. To the right and then down at the bottom of the screen, looks like.
No, these are all different perspectives of the same shot. There's just some of them have been filtered a little bit to give them more tone, sepia tone and stuff like that. But
no, the top-down shot.
Where? Oh, this one. Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. That'll
so
give
that
kind
gives
of what it looks like.
Right. So he was probably down here taking a shot up, and that's what we're seeing as the shot from underneath here.
Yes.
And that'll give you an idea. Good point. Good point. Good eye. I didn't even see that. This one's another one. That's a beautiful staircase, though. My God.
Yeah, it is.
Wow. So ornate and beautiful. So that's the staircase that we're looking at in this image. What a capture, though. What are the odds that he would have... I mean, that spirit had to have wanted that. What the hell? Look at the name on this one. What is that? What is Whiskey Tit? Jesus. Oh, I love the internet. It's so full of such bright lights. Such bright lights. So there you go. A couple more images of it. I think it's a great capture. But again, this one's also very, very, very grainy. So the quality on this one probably wasn't the. It was treated. Is that what you're saying? It said treated.
Treated.
It was a treated image. Yeah, it was treated with low quality. All right, here's the backseat ghost.
I've seen this one.
Yeah, these are all very famous. So if you've been nosing through the paranormal stuff, you probably bumped into a few of these. But this one's pretty fascinating. Mrs. Mabel Chinnery was visiting her mother's grave in 1959. She brought along her camera to take photographs of the gravesite. After snapping a few shots of her mother's gravestone, she took an impromptu photo of her husband, who was waiting alone in the car. At least the Chinnerys thought he was alone. When the film was developed, the couple was more than surprised to see a figure wearing glasses sitting in the back seat of the car. Mrs. Chinnery immediately recognized the image of her mother, the woman whose grave they had visited that day. Photographic expert who examined the print determined that the image of the woman was neither a reflection nor a double exposure. There's the woman sitting in the back seat. That's a fascinating capture. Now remember, this is an old-time car too, so it wasn't like headrests. They were like bench seats. You didn't have... If you got hit from back, you were folding backwards like a gummy bear, you know. There was nothing catching your skull.
Ooh, the safety standards. There were a lot of deaths from crashes. Yep.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Jesus. This is probably what launched the word whiplash.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually, if people, I guess for those that don't know, that's why cars crumble, like when they crash, because it's absorbing the impact. It's meant to keep you safe.
Right.
Cars back then, they were stronger, and they wouldn't get injured as much, but you would take all that force.
Yeah, that force would shoot right through the whole frame into your skeleton.
Yes.
Yeah. It wasn't meant to absorb the force at all. It was meant to withstand the force. Yeah. And we weren't meant to withstand the force, as it turns out.
Yes.
So there you go. That's the story of this. Last vote, one. Linda says, yeah, she's in. Annie Manul's all in. John Stevenson's halfway there. Lane Clifford's all in. Okay. That's a
Yeah,
real
you can
photo.
You see the clothing. You see, like, I think glasses. Am I looking at?
Yeah, it's like she's got glasses on, yep.
Yeah.
Or at least glowing eyeballs, one of the two.
Oh, God. I like glasses better.
Yeah, either is glowing eyeballs or glasses, one of the two. But Chucky's one, he's all in. Sharon Sunshine's all in. Bogart's all in. Yeshua's all in. Karen Alberting's all in. Hooking Good Creations by Tina's all in. Barbara Moore's all in. Yep. Interesting. So John Temperance says, I don't know. Fair enough. Yeah. And there's, again, there's no right or wrong answers. It's just, what do you think? It's kind of like the question of the week. What do you think? Cool Hands all in, 100%. Yeah, amen. I think this is a great capture. And I think it's a beautiful capture too, because how painful is it to go visit a loved one's grave? It's like a pain that never goes away. But to have something like that afterwards and go, well, she was there with us. I mean, that's beautiful to me. And I think that was the spirit in which this happened, not, hey, I'm going home with you. I don't think it's diabolical or creepy. I think it's just, Annie Manule says, mother-in-law from hell.
Yes, stay with me forever.
Lane says, mother-in-law moving in now. Just when you thought it was quiet in the house, the mother-in-law arrives. Yep, excellent. Yep. So, no, we're not going to do any spooky dolls tonight. I don't think. I don't know.
Spooky dolls.
Yeah. Jose says, oh no, more spooky dolls.
How's your spooky doll doing, by the way?
She's been really quiet. No motion, no movement. Seems to be sitting. Yeah, I'm just peeking through between the monitors. She's just sitting pretty much right where I put her. So.
Okay. All right. She's dormant.
David Barnes says, you rock, Brent. Thank you, David. Thank you, brother. Hey.
Hell yeah.
I agree. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so we'll leave this here. I got a couple videos I want to go through as well. We'll pick this up tomorrow night again and go through another, what the hell is that? We'll deal with more ghost photos and some other stuff, but I got a couple videos. Then we'll move on into the cryptid corner and close it all out. Don't be such a... Justin Good Earth, I just saw your, don't be such a tough crack. Yep, sorry. I made him spit out his beer, he said. Sorry, man. Don't waste good beer. Don't waste a good beer. All right, let's go to the rest of what I got pulled up for you. And I got to pull that up in video form. Got a couple videos. First one is a Bigfoot sighting. This is a video that's coming from Cryptid University. This is a Facebook group. I don't know why it has to open chat on every freaking browser window I have open, but it's maddening. It's like, hey, everybody read my chat while you're at it. My messages from Messenger. Yeah. So, gotta love the interwebs. So this is allegedly a Bigfoot sighting that was experienced by a trucker. It's apparently recorded in Alberta, Canada. And I don't know what to make of this one. I have to be honest, as I'm watching this video, I don't see any movement on the figure, and it seems really kind of static. And maybe, but then again, people have seen them and said they didn't move a bit. Just sat there like a statue. So, I don't know. My gut feeling is there might be more than what we're seeing here, or more staged. But you be the judge. And then we're going to look at the Sweeten Bigfoot footage to close out the crypt. What the hell is that? So let's go to this one first. Again, this is coming from Cryptid University. And this is a video from, again, a trucker's driving up to a job site late at night. And didn't see it at first, but someone's in the trees watching him. And it's a big-ass someone. So is it real or not? Maybe it is. Maybe it's staged. But you be the judge. We'll do the poll afterwards, and you guys can tell me what you think. Again, I'm not going to say I know, but because I don't. But here we go. Let me turn on the sound. I know there's a narration to this. This video is not... I don't think it's Cryptid University's video, but they posted it, and it's a pretty fantastic video either way. But is it real? Well, it might be, but it might not. You let me know what you think.
Y'all check this footage out. So a trucker in Alberta.
I think I'm going to not play the video. But he captures 11 to 13 foot Sasquatch on the dash cam while driving on site. And that's a job site again. Watch the trees as he's panning around here, though, as he's turning around this loop. So there's not much going on there. Not much going on there. It's coming up right there. There's the figure. Looks like it's got a glowy eye there, but that's pretty far up there. That's a big, big figure. Now, it's at a little bit of an odd angle, and I'm not sure what to make of it personally, but apparently the guy didn't see it at first, finishes the circle, parks, gets out of his truck, then he sees it, and he bolts back into the truck and gets the hell out of there is the story. So until he parks and actually gets the sight of it, he sees it walking, and he gets back in the truck and drive. I don't know what that said. I missed it. But so here he is going to be parking right now at this job site. And yeah, it does kind of, doesn't it, Rachel? There he is. Now he saw it. He's getting back in the truck. He's running like, whoa. He took off running, gets in and starts the truck right away and gets the hell out of there. I don't know. I'm wondering what you guys think. There he is. He's driving away. So this again is the spot where the action takes place. Again, watching the trees. I'll pause it when we get there. Boom. So that's the image right there of what looks like one eye coming off of a tree. Very, very big head. What looks like huge shoulders coming off on both sides. Now, it could be legit, but it seems so static to me.
That's what I was thinking.
And that just hits me weird. I can't say it's fake because I really don't know. But the fact that it doesn't even flinch, not even a little bit, even though it's standing in direct light, it's kind of got that weird sideways lean cooking, like this. It just strikes me as very statuesque.
No movement whatsoever.
None, yeah. Dog Digger says, saw this one before on my full screen. Very good then. I'd love to hear what you think, Dog Digger. I know you're a avid researcher of this stuff, so let me know. Karen Alberding says big fat zero. Chucky says no blink. Exactly. I mean, there's nothing moving. Oh my God, did you say static, Brent? I did, yeah. Why? I don't get it. What did I say? Chucky, I'll agree with your statement. What was Chucky's statement? Oh, no blink.
That one's a hoax, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I see it up above. Mm-hmm. Good point, Chucky. You should interview him. Interview who, though? Dog Digger says, real when I first saw it. Okay, what do you think now that you've reviewed it a little bit? Just curious. Again, no judgment. A lot of zeros. Rachel 0, Bogart 0, John Stevenson, Yeshua 0, Sharon Sunshine 0, Tina says 0, Annie Manuel. I will tell Chucky, Brent. What is going on? What am I missing? I'm so confused. Welcome to my world. There it is. I don't know. It's a video. It's interesting. I'm not saying it couldn't be real. Believe me, I'm not considering myself the arbiter of truth here ever on the show. Don't ever think that.
Sure.
All I can do is examine this stuff and look for things that stick out. And to me, that's how we all make judgment calls. It doesn't mean I'm right. It doesn't mean I'm wrong. It just means that's my opinion. I think this one feels hollow. I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just doesn't feel like whatever's going on is organic. It feels staged. So, I don't know. He'll tell you later. Gotcha. Okay. I appreciate it. There it is. So that was the first one. The trucker fella. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have any information, Kevin, about this guy. So I don't know how even I would get a hold of him. I didn't find any information. If you find information about who this guy is, please send it to me via email at paranormalportalradio@gmail.com. I think that's, that's fantastic. I'm not opposed to like interviewing a witness that was there for this. It'd be great to hear his story, and maybe I could understand what I can't understand right now just by hearing his story and him putting it all together. But I don't know who I don't even know the source of this at all. Yeah. So again, it's only posted by Cryptid University on Facebook. Check out their page. They got a lot of great videos like this. So, and it's great to review this stuff. It's great to look at it. And I'm not saying that, I want to give airtime to hoaxes, but come to your own conclusions. Maybe, like I said, maybe I'm wrong. I don't have to be right. I'm not that kind of person. So, but interesting, they do cloak and only eyes show. Yeah, I've heard those statements, John. I've never witnessed that, but I've heard those statements. Mm-hmm. So there it is. That's that one. I got one more, and then we'll get to the cryptid corner to kind of round it out. It's kind of a natural segue, right? Starting with Bigfoot videos, and then heading into Bigfoot experiences.
Perfect.
And cryptid experiences. Not like we only cover Bigfoot on there, but we certainly do cover Bigfoot. Quite a bit. We do quite a bit of Bigfoot coverage here on the show, because I think it's the cryptid that I think I'm the most familiar with. So this is called the Sweeten Bigfoot Footage. This is posted by Matt Knapp of Bigfoot Crossroads podcast. Matt's a good friend, and he does a great job posting this stuff up. What does the bottom say? Strange Universe. Comes from Strange Universe 1997. Whoa. Don't do that. It was going to do that part where it fills up my screen or crunches everything into blocks. All right, so let's check this out.
Whatever it was bigger and scarier than anything Danny had seen outside a zoo. About 7 feet tall, covered in dark hair with gray eyes, staring straight at Danny Sweeten.
We looked right into each other's eyes.
Did you see an emotion in his face?
It was like I had woke him up.
Remember, Danny Sweeten was carrying that video camera he'd never used. He was also carrying a loaded gun.
Went back that way.
Danny went for the camera. At the same time, the creature went.
Look at those old cameras, man. Those were monstrous. It's like as a TV news reporter. Gotta love those old VHS video cameras. They were great in the day, but my God, that's a brick.
480p.
Oh yeah, you'd be lucky to get 720p.
Went for him.
When I looked back up, he just gave me the elbow in the chest.
Oh.
Danny Sweeten is 6'1" and nearly 300 pounds.
It just lifted me up like nothing and flipped me through the air.
Danny says he...
Could you imagine being elbow checked by a Bigfoot?
Oh, must have been holding back.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was just like an elbow thrust, like, yeah, get out of here, but it still flipped him backwards,
Well, yeah. So it was nothing for the Bigfoot, but for us, it's
it'd be like
punch in the chest.
Yeah, it'd be like a getting hit by a motorcycle, I'm sure.
He landed on his stomach. 2 of his teeth had been knocked loose.
Oh man, he took it hard.
Somehow, he went for the camera again.
I was on.
That's a dedicated man right there. He's already lost teeth. He's been smashed by a Bigfoot, and he still thinks to go to the camera. God bless this man. He's like a superhero. This guy's like coiled steel. I'm sorry.
My knees.
I'd be in the fetal position crying. You don't eat me. You don't eat me.
When I hit the button, and when I stood up, I just pointed it, like a rifle.
This is what he says the camera captured.
He had hit me so hard I couldn't have chased him, really. If I'd have caught him, what would I have done with him,
You'd probably eaten another elbow, I'm guessing.
Worse.
You got the left one. I'll probably give you a right, too. Oh, man. So that's the Sweeten Bigfoot footage. What do you guys think? Is this guy telling the truth? You guys heard of this one before? Give me a 1, you think the guy's being honest, and that might have been a Bigfoot in video. Give me a 0, you think, nah, I'm not buying it. It's kind of an orgy of evidence, honestly. He just got a video camera, and he just happened to be lugging it through the forest, along with a gun. And then he sees the Bigfoot and catches an elbow to the chest that flips him over, loosens some teeth, and still has the presence of mind not to lift the gun, but to lift the camera. So, what do you think?
Yeah.
He ain't even huffing. Well, I don't think it just happened. And they were probably standing there for a while, so he probably had a chance to catch his breath. But Kevin LaCroix
from
says...
the video.
Huh?
They mean from the... He probably means from
the video. Yeah. Yeah, he's rather calm, though, isn't he? In taking that leaving shot. Yeah, it's a good point, Kevin. Yeah. Good point. Mike Prine's all in on this one. Sure. Might be. Yeshua says nope. John Stevenson's halfway there. Last Light says nope. She's not buying it. Annie Manul's halfway there. Henry Dong said nope. John Tempered, sure, why not? True. Could be. Not sure what Haledo means. Haledo? I don't know what that means either. That's 2 of us. Karen Alberting's halfway there. Let's see. On the fence, about 0.5. Rachel said Chucky's got a big 0. Yeah, the curious thing with me is when you get these orgy of evidences, like just happened to be in the woods and the Bigfoot just didn't happen to care that he was there, but kind of didn't like that he was there, so it gave him an elbow check to the chest or face or whatever, flipped him over backwards, and the guy didn't reach for the gun, he reached for the camera. And I find that's fascinating, curious.
I think what's surprising to me is that a guy snuck up on a Bigfoot.
Well, yeah, like you said, it looked like he woke him up.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not impossible.
Right?
Yeah,
it's possible. It's like I said, it's just surprising. That's all.
Yeah, I just don't see it running up to just check him quick and walk away. Like, yeah, you woke me up. I was having a good sleep. And it just dirt pounds him quick and then heads off casually, walking off into the distance.
Walking away, yep.
Wasn't running, wasn't in a hurry, just like, puny human.
And yeah, I'm not bold enough to say it's a complete lie, but there are things that are concerning.
There's question marks, right? Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Barbara Moore says, nope, not in on this one. Need to look at body proportions. I was looking at that. The arms don't look too long. This isn't the kind of video I can scroll through without replaying the whole thing, unfortunately. So I'm not going to do that, but I will put the link in the chat so you guys can examine the body proportions. I'm with you. I rely on that pretty heavily. I think that's a great barometer for looking at potential evidence. And if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. No, sorry, this isn't OJ. So there we go. There's the link to the video. You guys check it out. It's Bigfoot Crossroads Podcast. This is Matt Knapp's site on Facebook. Definitely follow Matt and give him some of your love. Matt's doing some great stuff over there. He's a great guy. So support him. Support him. So
yes.
Yeah, got some messages again popping up. Look at this. What the hell? Just close that crap. Every freaking tab. It thinks it has to open 15 of the same message across all of my tabs.
Oh, Facebook.
Oh, man. Well, there you go. We literally got time maybe for one of these, so we should probably get to that. Because we're getting late in the game, Sheldon.
Yes, we are.
Minutes remain. So it's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the next part. There we are. Welcome to the Cryptid Corner. We're going to close out this show with a Bigfoot report. We got about enough time to do... Not this one. That's too long. How about this one? This one we can do. What one is this one? Tigers Hold Grudges. That's kind of interesting. I think I want to cover that one tomorrow, though. It's a really fascinating count. Oh, my God. That one's long, too. Come on, Whis. Give me something short. Here we go. Tonight's show from August 3rd of Sasquatch Chronicles blog. Tonight's show, creatures on Grandma's property. And if you haven't checked this out, check it out. You can listen to, oh, hey, BJ Lapierre. That dang creepy crawler again. Sorry. Yeah. It's part of the cryptid world. We gotta show it. It's out there. All right, here we go. Tonight's show, the creature on Grandma's property. So if you haven't listened to this episode, go support Wes. Go listen to it. Go over to the blog. Check out the site. Wes does an exceptional job as well. I mean, again, it's another one of the sites I rely on pretty heavily here on the show, and I'm really grateful to have access to it. So please support what Wes is doing over there. Tonight's show, the creature on Grandma's property. And Jane writes, I'm originally from Ohio, and both of my parents were from West Virginia. As a kid, we would visit my maternal granny every summer, and anytime my mom could get my dad to take a vacation. Mostly summers. This property, which is up a holler, has been in my family for at least a couple 100 years. That's amazing. And I believe these creatures have been there just as long, if not longer. I'd love to talk to you about my experiences throughout my life, and what I came to realize was Sasquatch finally in 2021. And some other paranormal experiences that I've been through in my life. I do have to say, though, that I only actually had one sighting back between 2011 and 2013. The only reason that I can't pin the exact year down is due to thinking that my mom and I were looking at some really strange black bears in the back of the house from the kitchen window in West Virginia and kind of put it out of my mind. Between those same years, my husband and I were screamed, growled, hollered at. And that's very hard to describe because we've never heard anything exactly like that. And at the end of it, it reminded me of an ape. Wow. At that moment was the first time Sasquatch came to my mind. It was really odd to me because I didn't believe that these things were real. It scared me so bad that I left my husband for dead and never walked so fast to get inside of my granny's house and locked the door behind me. There was zero fight. Also in West Virginia, same property, I also believed that while living in a rural area of Tennessee between the years of 2015 and 2020, we lived amongst them due to many strange occurrences we went through in that house. I'm truly thankful for being clueless, and I'll explain why it's better that I wasn't aware. I do have a lot of paranormal things if you'd want to hear about that, any of that. A nephew that brought something into my mom's home in Cleveland, Ohio, many years ago, possibly demonic. And a story about some missing time in 2021, and can go into better detail about everything if you'd like to give me a call. There you go. So it's more of an outline of what that episode is, and I would just recommend you guys go check out that episode, and you can listen to all of it. And I love that about Wes's show is that, yeah, it's Sasquatch Chronicles, but he's not afraid to go into other waters and talk about paranormal, Fortean topics, supernatural stuff, UFO stuff. I mean, he's really willing and able to go into all of that. And I do respect that because his show is not just a one-trick pony. It's not just, hey, this is all Bigfoot all day long, every day, the end. So I do respect that. I really do, because I think that whatever this stuff is, it's a huge spectrum of stuff going on. And even though I think that UFOs are not the same as Bigfoot and they are not the same as UFO or ghosts, I think that perhaps all of these phenomena could be utilizing the same dynamics of reality to do what they're doing. And I think that's the breadcrumbs, So fantastic stuff. But anyway, that's the journey. Only one story. Sorry, I didn't have enough time for all of them. We ended up going long on the pictures, so my apologies. But what were you saying, Sheldon?
No, I said that is the journey. That's part of it. Going through it all.
Going through it all. We go through it all here on the portal.
It's all unknown.
It's all unknown, just like the unknown who's in the chat room.
I was just thinking it too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I just realized I've only been getting up to your chin. I got to reframe you a little better there. There we go.
I literally keep freezing anyway.
Yeah, I noticed that. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I don't think it's here, but it might be. I got this newer computer, so
Whenever I talk, then I move, but when I'm not talking, it freezes.
Quit moving, just sit still. It's like you're little again. Quit moving, sit still. I'm trying to watch this. No, I'm kidding. I wasn't a barky dad. Not usually. Sometimes I think I probably was, but I don't know. Anyway, Sheldon, anything in closing?
Absolutely, guys. I was not prepared. I was talking. But I'll put it right in the chat here, paranormalportal.net. That's the home base for the Paranormal Portal. You guys can always stay up to date on new episodes, podcasts, and when we're going live, as well as the interview me button as well, right on the webpage. And discord.gg/paranormalportal to join the amazing, not copy, there we go. To join the amazing community and all of the discussions and the questions of the week. There's still time for tomorrow's question of the week.
Amen. Question of the week tomorrow night. That is brought to you courtesy of our very own Chucky Danger.
Yes.
Who's like a little bit of a superhero here around the show. So
he is our hero.
But Chucky, I'm going to give you a call in a little bit. All right, brother? If it's not too late. So anyway, I guess that takes us to the end of the journey. I hope you guys had a good time. Thank you to everybody that stopped in. Thank you for all your love and support and for recommending the show, for sharing these episodes out on your pages and your groups that you're involved in. That really means the world to me. Obviously, I love doing this show, and I love that so many of you are coming and being a part of it. That means the world to me. Special thank you to our YouTube members. That helps so much. You guys are helping so much by being members, helping to keep the lights on here in a lot of ways. Believe me, every bit helps, and you guys are bringing a lot to the table. So I love you for it, and thank you to all of you guys for being here. Please hit the like if you enjoyed the stream on your way out. If you're watching when it's not live, please leave a message. Please leave a comment, because all of those things do help to show the YouTube algorithm that not only is this show happening, but that people are involved. I think that's the big thing with the algorithm is, an involved audience is good business. So please get involved. And that's going to wrap it up for us. I'll be back tomorrow night for the Saturday show. We are back on our normal schedule. On Sunday, I'm going on an investigation. I'll be going to Wallace, Idaho, investigating a hotel there. So with Mr. Charles Howard Johnson. Should be a blast. I'll try to stream some of that for our members. So if you want to watch some of that live stream, become a channel member. It would help me out a bunch and give you a little piece of entertainment you ain't never seen before. I've never seen before. I've never been there, so I'm excited to see it. But please become members if you can, and you can join it. Good night, Mom. Good to see you. Good night, all. Great show, Brent and Sheldon.
Nina. I'll see you tomorrow.
Ladies and gentlemen, Susan Jablonski in the chat is my mom. That's my mom. That's my real mom. And we got to hang out earlier this week because we were hanging out, watching. I think we watched Star Trek. I made my mom sit through Star Trek for a while.
That's a good movie.
So anyway, that's all we got for tonight. And we'll get back at it on tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do these live shows every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. So love to have you come in and stop in whenever you can. So that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's wrap it up. Let's run the credits. Sheldon, thank you for making it. I'm glad you're feeling better, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I could make it too, and feeling much, much better, and hope everyone out there is too. I have heard a lot of people getting sick around the country, actually. So, stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you, Kevin LaCroix. Dropping the 2 Canadian on the way out. Boom, baby. Appreciate it, guys. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. I'll be back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Join me, and we'll dive right back again into the Paranormal Portal and maybe have a special guest with me. We'll see. All right, good night, everybody. Until next time.